So what if I told you there's a new AI that doesn't just answer your questions, but actually builds your ideas? I mean, really brings them to life. Well, that's exactly the promise of Google's brand new model, Gemini 3. And let me tell you, this isn't just another small update. Nope, we're talking about a massive shift in what AI can even do. So let's dive in and break down what this new era of AI is really all about.
Okay, to really get a feel for just how big this leap is, you gotta see this. Think back to, 2022? We thought it was pretty cool when an AI could write a little poem about a candy-powered spaceship, right? Cute. But fast forward to today, with Gemini 3, you give it that exact same idea, and it doesn't write a poem. It builds a whole playable game. I mean, that's the jump we're seeing here. We've gone from just describing things to actually creating them.
So where did this thing even come from? Well, like a lot of huge tech breakthroughs, Gemini 3 didn't just appear out of nowhere with a big flashy announcement. Nah, the story actually starts with some whispers and some really sharp-eyed developers who started spotting clues out in the wild.
Right, so what happened was developers started noticing this weird new model name popping up on Google's platforms. You know, AI Studio and Vertex AI. It was called Gemini 3-Pro Preview 11 2025. And of course, those whispers started turning into a real buzz. And then Google came out with its official mission, and wow, it was ambitious. Their goal? To create an AI that can bring, get this, any idea you have to life. Not some ideas, any idea.
And you know, this didn't happen overnight. It's been a clear evolution. If you look back, Gemini 1.0 was the big breakthrough in multimodality. That's just a fancy way of saying it could understand text, images, and sound all at once. Then 2.0 came along and really focused on getting smarter, on reasoning through tricky problems. But now, Gemini 3, it's taking all those building blocks and becoming something totally different. It's not just a tool anymore. It's designed to be your actual partner in getting stuff done.
Okay, so Google is throwing around some big words, calling this their most intelligent model ever. But what does that really mean? You know, talk is cheap. The real proof is in the numbers. And let me tell you, they put Gemini 3 through the ringer on some seriously tough tests.
And wow, the results speak for themselves. I mean, sure, it's at the top of the general leaderboards like MathArena, that's great, but the really mind-blowing stuff is in these super specialized areas. It's nailing an 81% on a test that throws all sorts of complex media at it. It's hitting a state-of-the-art 76.2% on a really tough coding test. But that last one, GPQA Diamond, that one is on another level.
Yeah, 91.9%. Let that sink in. This isn't your average quiz. The GPQA Diamond benchmark is literally designed to be so hard it stumps human experts. We're talking questions at a graduate school level. So when Google says this thing has PhD-level reasoning, they're not just making it up. This score is why. It's not just spitting back facts. It's actually reasoning through incredibly complex ideas.
All right, so it's super smart, a genius even. But here's the thing. A high IQ is only half the battle, right? The real revolution, the part that changes everything, is what Gemini 3 can actually do with all that brainpower. We are officially leaving the simple chat box behind.
And that brings us to this brand new idea called the Generative UI. Think about it like this. Instead of the AI just typing text back at you, it actually builds an interactive experience right in front of you. So you could ask for, say, a mortgage calculator, and poof, it doesn't just describe one, it builds a working calculator for you. Or maybe you ask it to explain a tough science concept, and it codes up a little interactive animation to show you exactly how it works. It's incredible.
You know, the analyst Ethan Mollick just nailed it with this quote. He said, "In 2022, AI could describe the engine. In 2025, AI can code the engine, design the interface, and let you pilot the ship yourself." I mean, that just perfectly sums up this whole shift, doesn't it? We've gone from having a narrator to having a whole crew.
So when you have this kind of creative power at your fingertips, it completely changes how you interact with technology. It really is the difference between just using a tool like a hammer and actually collaborating with a teammate. And that, right there, is the beginning of the true AI agent.
And this isn't just theory, it's already happening. Google's new platform for this is called Antigravity. The best way to think about it is like a project space for your AI. You're not just firing off a quick question. No, you're giving it an entire assignment. You can say, hey, you have access to these files, you can browse the web, you can even write your own code. Now go achieve this goal for me.
So how do you actually work with something like this? Well, it's a lot less about trying to write the perfect magical prompt and a lot more like, well, managing a very capable intern. You start by giving it access to what it needs. Then you just state your goal in plain English. And here's the crucial part. Before it does anything, it comes back to you with a step-by-step plan that you have to approve. You're always in the driver's seat.
And that experience is perfectly captured by Ethan Mollick again. After trying it out, he said it felt much more like managing a teammate than prompting an AI through a chat interface. And that really is the key takeaway here. Our relationship with AI is fundamentally changing. We're going from being operators who type in commands to managers who direct and guide a partner. Okay, let's just take a step back for a second. We've seen this absolutely massive leap in just 3 years. So the big question is, what does this all mean? What does the next 3 years look like for how we work, how we create, how we solve problems?
Well, for one thing, it completely changes the idea of keeping a human in the loop. You know, for a while now, that's meant our job was to basically double-check the AI's work and fix its mistakes. But that's not the case anymore. Our job is shifting up a level. We're the ones who provide the vision, the big picture goals, and we let the AI handle the nitty-gritty execution. It's like we're moving from being the quality control inspector to being the creative director.
And that really leaves us with one last, pretty big thought. For the last few years, we've all been learning how to talk to chatbots, right? Getting good at prompt engineering. But as AI literally steps out of that chat box and becomes a true digital coworker, the skill we need isn't about prompting anymore. It's about leading. So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to be a manager?